Hi folks, we're just going to say a few words here, as much as anything else, for the people who are passing. The Cost of Living Crisis Campaign called this protest because a lot of people don't know it, but every single week, every single month, the Department for Communities take up to a quarter of people's benefits from them in debt deductions. It's something that could be stopped in the morning. We don't need Stormont back for this to happen. The Minister herself, there's no new money involved. All she has to do is say, we're not going to take those deductions. Even if she only pauses it for the 6 months of the winter, that at least would give people some bit of a breathing space this winter. She could do it in the morning, stroke of a pen, no problem. So we have two people who are going to speak here today of their own personal experiences, and then we'll move on because it is very cold here. So the first person I'm going to ask to speak is Ellen Moore, who's standing here next to me. And Ellen.
Hello everyone. I'm here to sort of tell my story. I need things to be done for the people right now. As it is, we can't afford to heat our homes. I'm a cancer sufferer. I can't afford to put on heat the way I should be putting it on. It just seems to be, I'm turning off lights and going to bed early. And it's just at the point, look at now, and we're only at the start of the winter. God only knows what January is going to bring. And bring the people like the elderly who will wind up taken to their beds, being found dead maybe a week later, where they haven't the money to put on heat, they haven't the money to feed. This has to stop somewhere. We need them politicians who are getting their wages off their ass and doing something for the people now before it's too late.
Thanks, Ellen. That was extremely well said. So now I'm going to ask Carol Gallagher to say a few words.
To read from what I have written down here because I'm not as an accomplished speaker as Ellen already, but I did think it was important to come here today and share my experience. I'm Carol. I'm a single parent of two school-aged children, and we live in rented accommodation. I'm not a charity case, I'm not a scrounger, I'm not a sponger, and no human being is, and nor should they ever be referred to as such. I've worked all my life, paid my bills, my national insurance, my taxes, but life changes, as we all know. And I'm at a stage of my life now where I need a wee bit of support. I've paid my dues, and like so many, I should not have to stand out here today demanding that a minister charged with looking after our communities actually does their jobs and protects people in our communities who needs support. It's a quick and easy way that's open to her to do so, and it's not easy standing here bearing my soul today, but here is my story. I'm a teacher, and since redundancy 10 years ago, I've worked in supply teaching. I work hard when work is available. But in so many other sectors like ours, long-term or permanent jobs are like hen's teeth. Wages are unreliable, so I depend on the benefit system for help. A couple of years ago, I was moved to universal credit and then notified of an overpayment of tax credits. Now, however this error was made, it was not my fault and not my mistake. This was a benefit I'd received in good faith, calculated by the department themselves, as a support that no means allowed me to live a lavish lifestyle, but just helped me to get by. But I was told I owed a large sum and deductions would be made from future payments. I actually felt like some kind of crook or criminal. I was shaken, I was angry that a government department had essentially put me into debt, and that £80 repayments would make a serious dent in my already unreliable income. So even with cutting back and watching the pennies in the last 18 months with rising costs, I've been forced to apply twice for discretionary support payments for home heating oil. Now, it takes a lot to pick up the phone and essentially ask for money. Your pride and dignity is put on hold when the house is cold and your kids can't sleep. Now, the telephone staff were very kind, but the process is intrusive and undignified. You're essentially on a phone line begging for a wee lift. I had no choice at the time. And now I'm also paying back around another £35 a time. All this has done, rather than help me back on my feet, has put me further into debt and piled on the pressure again. There's only so much managing, budgeting and stretching that anybody can do. It's exhausting physically and mentally. The most exhausting part has been trying to appear as if I'm not exhausted at all and that everything's fine. The support of family and friends is immense, but it can only go so far, and it can feel actually shameful to ask for help. So it's not easy standing here with a microphone saying these things. There's times I feel like a failure, I feel stupid, but I want to come here today to say that there are more of us in this boat than we realise, and we should not be. No wonder I fume and rage at the big business grants and handouts that are never expected to be paid back, MLA salary hikes at the drop of a hat, massive fortunes paid out to private companies to deliver essential services for health, education, transport, and most especially at those in power advising us to buy an extra blanket or a new kettle. At the press of a button, the Minister here can alleviate the current pressures and struggles that I've described that are currently being endured by so many. We all work hard. We all look after our families, and we all deserve a quality of life that allows us some joy. To just not lose that £80 or £30 would be a help, a wee start. And some people here and elsewhere are paying as much as a quarter of their benefits back. That's absolutely corrupt. It's absolutely disgusting. What right-minded government department would perpetuate the system with the power and money is there to help our most needy? We demand that the Minister takes action now to make this a real difference in people's pockets, to stop telling us that there's nothing they can do. There is. So do it. People in our community, in your community, Minister, are on their knees. Cancel these debt repayments now.
Thanks, Carol, and I don't think I should say anything more after that because that was a really, really powerful speech, and she's absolutely right. The Minister could change this in the morning. Why has she not? She could make it literally in the morning and stop all debt deductions immediately, and that's what should happen. Anybody who's listening to this and thinking, I want to get involved in making sure that we do stop these debt deductions, please come and talk to one of the people who spoke afterwards. Get involved in the cost of living crisis campaign, and let's actually start making the politicians sit up and look after the average person. They can make the change now. They can make it. She can make it literally in the morning and stop all debt deductions immediately, and that's what should happen.